Parenting 101, Director versus Leader. What, or rather who, is the director? The director is really the controller of all things good and right in the home. Many of us are familiar with this role, as it sounds something like this. Get your shoes on. Go get your book bag. Eat your vegetables. Sit up straight. Leave your sister alone. Stop that. Go change your clothes, comb your hair, and brush your teeth. For many of you, this may seem like second nature. Despite the exhausting, frustrating, and somewhat brain-deadening nature of this never-ending instructions, we often believe that it's necessary. But it's not. Children thrive on leadership, not control. There are several critical distinctions between the role of leadership as a parent and the role of director. These distinctions are important because they produce very different outcomes. In the moment of the daily rush of things, it appears that the director is absolutely essential, and it might even be reasonable to argue that very early on in your toddler's life that these instructions were helpful. That makes sense, right? But with the perspective of time, we begin to see that the director's role seems to become more and more essential as time goes on. In fact, as children age and we expect to see emerging independence, we see growing dependence. While mom or dad ought to be working themselves out of the directing business, the true director is stuck. It seems they have more and more work to do. This doesn't seem to make any sense, as children should be taking on more responsibility, but they don't. This points us to the problems that come with simply accepting the role of director. Directing promotes dependence, not independence. The director assumes that they must make it all happen in their home. The moment that there is a lack of progress in getting ready, or completing an assignment, or even getting through dinner, the director takes over and starts instructing. Here is where the problem emerges. The director's role appears to be needed. That's right, when directing early on, it appears to produce results. The children actually seem to listen to the director and progress is made. Things keep moving forward. Life appears to be good. But through the eyes of time, we notice where the director starts to lose power and influence. As children age, we notice that the children who are directed the most seem to become more dependent on their parents rather than more independent. The problem becomes evident when the 12-year-old that has to be asked 10 times to brush their teeth. We also see competent children become more and more helpless, forgetting the most basic lessons they have learned. Many times these over-directed children appear absolutely helpless and unable to make a decision without mom or dad telling them what to do next. The director's weaknesses show up early on and are more obvious with a more strong-willed or challenging child who resists the director and begins to create an escalating series of standoffs where the director's power is tested. Bottom line, no independence is nurtured under the director's watch. Instead of a director, children need leadership. Good leaders display several qualities that separate them from poor leaders. First, they lead by example. They are excellent models who walk their talk. They don't yell at others. And expect others to remain calm. They don't preach one message and yet do another. Leaders are good examples for their followers. Leaders also create a positive vision and can keep their focus there. Families need parents who have a vision of just how good the family can be. How much can they contribute to their community? How hard can they work on their soccer field? How much love is possible when you really commit your life to it? Good leaders bring a vision of possibility into the home and inspire their children to become better. Third, leaders know how to hold their family accountable. Without accountability, there's nothing. It's all just talk and more talk. Often we see this mistake made, where there's lecture after lecture, and yet those systems are put in place to hold children accountable to doing their best. Parents who are good leaders for their family find ways to create simple systems to hold their children accountable to being their best. Combined, these qualities transform a child. Consider leading as a way of parenting rather than directing.